I'm sure many of you know about ceramic keycaps. It's the one material that stands out the most in custom keyboards. Cerakeys first started with keycaps by themselves, which was already very interesting. They added glaze to it, which made the patterns and designs look a little cooler. They then proceeded to release a pre-built keyboard, which sounded amazing. But what I never expected is a case made out of ceramic with pre-built ceramic keycaps and Hall effect. Let me introduce to you the Peak 60. First of all, the unboxing gave me a nice little surprise. I just thought it was a normal kind of lift up box, but when the Peak 60 started tilting towards me, I was like, whoa, that's actually pretty cool.
Wait, that's so cool.
The keycap puller is pretty nice though. I believe it's made for ceramic keycaps because it's not made from metal, so you won't hear the scratching of metal against your ceramic keycaps. First impression, it's exactly what I expected. With a case made of ceramic, it has a nice amount of heft to it. And on top of that, it's cold to the touch. Other than the keycaps being cold to the touch, the case also feels cold to the touch, which I believe some of you ceramic keycap enjoyers do kind of like that vibe. Anyway, it has a pretty standard 65% layout. We have some grooves towards the top of the board, which I believe kind of accentuates the material of ceramic. Because when you're using ceramic, I feel like one of the highlights is this kind of a glossy sheen to it. So having shadows kind of get cast, it helps accentuate the highlights of this glossy sheen, which is the whole point of the Peak 60. For the keycaps, we have the glazed version, so at certain angles where light hits it, it shows off that unique design, and especially with the RGB, it also stands out a lot more. In terms of visuals, if you're a Cerakey enjoyer, this was made for you. The Peak 60 hits every single visual target and highlights it really well. It's cold to the touch, the glazed keycaps shine from a certain angle, with the RGB backlight it shines even more, and on top of that, the whole glossy sheen is on the whole board. Now, let's move on to sound. Here's how it sounds stock. It's not thocky, which I kinda expected, because getting magnetic switches or any Hall effect gaming keyboard to sound thocky is nearly impossible. I know ceramic keycaps is popular for creating that deep sound profile, but if they really wanted to go for a deep sound profile on a Hall effect keyboard, I think having an aluminum case with some really dense foam and maybe a PP plate or something, a little sturdier, but it would create a deeper sounding profile compared to other Hall effect keyboards. But I do think the acoustics of this board is really interesting. It sounds nothing like any other Hall effect keyboard. If I were to describe the sound profile, I would say it's clocky. It's a good mix of clacky and thocky. It sounds clocky. For the switches, they are using their own switches. If I were to describe it, it's very similar to the Gateron Jade Pros, but they're using a stronger spring to support the weight and density of the ceramic keycaps. I'm not gonna dive too deep as to what's inside, what sort of foam, blah blah blah, because I don't think anyone is really dismantling this whole ceramic keyboard. Ultimately, I believe the Peak 60 is designed for visuals and the gaming aspect, starting from the software. It's a web-based software that is actually really optimized. It's very responsive, it's very straightforward. Choosing the keys, adjusting your actuations, rebinding your keys, or lighting mode changes, it all felt very smooth and very instant, which I like. The more important specs, we have 8000Hz polling rate, 0.125 millisecond latency, custom actuation and rapid trigger as low as 0.01mm, and of course, we have the usual set of HE features like SOCD and blah blah blah. I tried it on CS2, but this actually feels somewhat different from your usual Hall effect keyboard. The keys feel a little more sensitive, which I believe is from the weight of the ceramic keycaps. It feels more like a dynamic sort of thing. On top of your key press, there is the weight of the ceramic keycaps, which then adds onto it, which kind of feels like you're actuating a little bit faster. So if you are planning on getting the Peak 60 or just use ceramic keycaps on a Hall effect keyboard, I would advise you increasing your actuation point. So for example, I normally use a 0.5mm actuation point, but with ceramic keycaps, I felt more comfortable at 0.7 because of the whole weight thing. Now, as I'm filming this, I don't have the retail price of it yet, but hopefully Jacob has it and we can put it in now. If I had to guess, it would be somewhere around $150 to $200. If it's somewhere between 100 to 150, it's actually a pretty worth buy because it's so unique. It's definitely not for everyone. It's definitely for the Sarakeys super fans, the ones who like to experiment, the ones who like something a little more unique. This Peak 60 is for you. I personally did not expect Sarakeys to release anything remotely close to this. If you say it out in words, like a board made fully out of ceramic with ceramic keycaps, and we're gonna throw in Hall effect with 8000 Hz polling rate, that's crazy. That's unique. That's one of the most unique boards I've tried. So if you're interested, I'll have it linked down below. Comment your thoughts on the Peak 60 down below. Subscribe if you enjoy my content. As you can tell, I'm working on a video where I'm comparing the Razer Viper V4 Pro and the Super Strike X2. I'm so excited for the video. So subscribe. 80% of you are still not subscribed. It's free and we are close to 130k subscribers. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.